I think I'm recording. Am I? Hopefully. Hello. So I get questions. What's a Hutchison effect? Okay, well, I'll explain it to you. As you've seen what it does do. How do I achieve it? I use all kinds of vintage equipment, basically. All military grade or Navy grade. Plus Geiger counters and other detectors, magnetometers. I know you're so funny. I'm trying to explain something, so I'm taking that. Good point. So there's a lot of things in nature that are kind of perplexing to most people, I guess. Like weird magnetic influences, magnetic fields, electrostatic fields, radio fields, electromagnetic, and radioactive materials, gravity anomalies. Big one is when the moon comes around, okay? Everything, you can pick that up on a magnetometer, okay? So I use a lot of instrumentation to listen and monitor and think. There's also parapsychological aspects on the 21 centimeter wavelength band and the hydrogen line too. So I monitor all these parts and go into the magnetic field, monitor that, what's going on there. Then I work on actual equipment to, like, oh, you have all these little, let's visualize all these little spots of, on a floor, let's say. Okay, and I find out what they are. Learn of the frequency through radio listening, which started when I started as a kid doing that. But what causes that sound? What generates that sound? So I use various different radios and spectrum analyzers. And what I do is work the surround in the magnetic field, like I mentioned before, electrostatic field and that kind of thing. So what I try and do is, like, you bring all these little spots together until you get around puddle, let's say, of water. Let's use that as an analogy, okay? And I try and replicate it through other devices, transmitters, transceivers, static generators, magnetic fields. I learned that a long time ago when I studied Scientific American, Nikola Tesla. Okay? And what things Tesla got, I replicated these machines in doing so in the frequencies, okay? Well, eventually I bring all that stuff together through making things. What are you trying to do, you deal? No, that's a static generator. You don't want to play too much with that. No. So electrostatics have their own signatures. Ball lightning effects, semi-round ball effects, micro balls, bead lightning, all those things. And DC energy brings out all kinds of peculiar things. And work takes a while to get around this stuff, so I try and replicate what I pick up and put it together. It can be all the way down to ELF up to super HF, and beyond that as well, even into atomic. That takes a long time to do this. Find the equipment takes a long time. Build the equipment takes a long time, so that's kind of how I do it, a very rough draft. And it was drawn up, written up into Electric Spacecraft Journal years ago. This is on my SlideShare. Well, that's how I get this stuff going. Started out with Tesla coils, but I found that going more advanced into Tesla's disruptive discharge transformer 1898, device he used to bring around and demonstrate to the public. Look it up, 1898 electrical experimenter. I got to build one of those again as well for a very fine kind of field effect. Good way of putting a field effect, including auto effects. And gravity is very important. So that's the weight of all the machinery that is put together, basically. So Convoy Electrical Machinery donated very heavy transformers to the U.S. government lab that they and George Hathaway put together. That added the extra weight I needed to extract the energy from the weight of those things. I guess the most dynamic effects were 1985. Probably the most weighty lab I ever had. So it had a lot to do with weight, position of the equipment, reflective energy. Sometimes the geomagnetic field fluctuations are very important. So I have quite an antenna farm. I have magnetometers, all that stuff. I want to get a atomic clock, see if the time lines are affected at all. Apparently they are to witnesses. Because we had a building vanish. I think Alec will kind of verify that with me. Other things would vanish and reappear somewhere else, so that indicates certain interesting subatomic physics. Luckily, a tiny bit of it over the years has been captured on camera, as well as witnessed by many scientists. Okay. They write up their own reports, but I have all those reports. So. And I get advice from the witnesses as well. Like Canadian scientists, filmed for one day. I would love to see that film. I guess it's, according to a member of Parliament, Chuck Cook, it's a matter of national security. Okay, that's what they say. Okay, well, that's okay. U.S. government stuff, Alamos kind of disappeared with all that stuff. But anyway, I'm going on and on. McDonnell Douglas was very open with the videos. Jack Hout filmed for a couple of days. We found out later that the main effects were very slow moving, which is kind of interesting. How I found out about that? Well, I took all the videos that Jack Hout took at that time and put them on YouTube. And they could actually on YouTube you can put them together and speed them up. I don't think you can do that anymore. That was a feature YouTube had, so I sped up all 8 hours of videos. Was it 8 hours? I think so, maybe more. To about 2 minutes. I was impressed. Unfortunately, Jack Hout passed away some time ago, and everybody passed away. I couldn't share that information with him. But he had his own he wrote up his own report. Well, hopefully I could do that again sometime. So that's what I want to talk about. What is the Hutchison effect? Okay, so. Because I get a lot of negative comments, on it. A bunch of old stuff like that. Not old, look, it's made for it. Another donator to me was Chaosmod Electrical Machinery, who donated the turn of a century electrical machinery as seen on CBC News video. My God, that stuff is amazing. All mounted on bakelite and brass. Made for that time frame. No, computers will not handle this stuff. Or advanced measuring devices. No. Plus, I can't even. Couldn't afford a modern spectrum analyzer anyway. I got them on surplus. $5 for a nice spectrum analyzer. But anyway, just shut up. I'm going on talking quite a bit today, aren't I? Okay, well, I'm going to get to work on that. But that's just accumulation of things that do certain things, like RF generators, RF transmitters, receivers, wave analyzers, wave meters, That's dozens of others. Wave tech, modern. I have a few of those. Okay.